Oh, yeah, absolutely amazing. So we are so excited to be here this evening and to present the new way in which Gift of Legacy is working. And I'm very excited to be presenting with Tim. He always makes me super excited and proud of where we've come from and what we've achieved.
Oh. Candice, I've gone and muted you.
There we go. Sorted.
Sorry, somebody else came on, was unmuted, and it moved.
Let's do that.
So you were excited about me, and then I cut you short.
All good, all good. Yeah, so just wonderful to always present with Tim. And just so lovely to have all of you here. And we're so lucky because Tim, in the beginning, when he first started presenting, he would say he's not going to talk until there's 100 people. So I'm very pleased that we are over 100 people and more people are joining. And it's been such a joy to get to know Tim. He actually comes from the hospitality industry, and he was in that for 27 years until 2018, until the time that he became happily unemployable, which he loves to say. And Tim says from pursuing profits from his own businesses was far more exciting than earning a salary from a job. He is now a digital nomad and has been traveling South Africa for the past year with him and his wife, their 2 fur kids, and they sold their house just a year ago. I remember when you actually showed us the house and the new car, and you were just about to go on your journey. So they've done the year, and now watch out, world. They're coming for you. His interests are in personal development and online businesses, where his passion is in sharing his knowledge to help others reach their goals. And of course, Gift of Legacy is perfectly aligned to his values of health, wealth, and education.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for that introduction. That's brilliant. And I'll ask everybody just to make sure that they are muted. It's a big distraction for speakers if suddenly this background noise comes in. That's how I cut Candice off. Apologies for that. I love presenting with Candice, her energy and her vibe and her passion for what we have is we don't need to be in a live room. I love talking to life-size people, but over Zoom, you can just get the enthusiasm and excitement. And Candice hasn't been in this platform or this environment for many years. She was 22 years in the hairdressing and for 11 owned her own business in Cape Town. But then a few years ago, a back injury made her relook at what she was actually going to be doing with her life. So she sold her salon and has become an access consciousness facilitator. Moved to the Garden Route, beautiful area in South Africa. If you're ever going to come here, that's a place you have to go and visit. It's a Garden Route. It looks like a garden. It truly is. Beautiful area. And she became then part of the sacred economic environment, which completely changed her life. And she realized the synergies between being access consciousness facilitator and the gifting economy it marries so extremely well. And she's found that this environment has helped her to start living some of her life dreams and passions. And any business owners online will understand that you don't have time for your own passions and dreams when you own your own business. So her passion now, self-development, helping other people to learn and become better in themselves if they want to. And she's got a huge passion for animals as well. So it's fantastic to be sharing the virtual stage with Candice this evening. The structure we're going to run, I'm going to start off, and I'll be back on later. I'm going to cover some of the why Gift of Legacy, why this would be different. Perhaps you've seen an environment before or been invited to business opportunities or something online before to make money. So I'll go through a bit of why. Candice is going to go through some nuts and bolts, what and hows, and then I'll come back a bit later on. So you're going to share screen here. There we go. Right, let me organize the screen.
To start, there we go.
There we go.
Tim's great because he allows me to drive, which is cool. Not many men would do that. So I do a good job in driving.
Yeah, you do a good job in driving. And so before we start driving, If you're new into this environment, please make a note of any questions you've got. We won't be doing any Q&A. This is purely an introduction to get your juices flowing, your excitement, your interest, that you say, what do I do now? How do I get involved? What's next? And that's where you go back to the person that invited you and ask them questions that you may have. But otherwise, then join another one of our Zooms, which we hold frequently. So keep notes and hold on to your seats. For those who have been in the environment before and in the chat box there, I'm not sure if it's still live or not, you would have seen that there's people from all over the world, and we'll be sharing some of that information with you just now. So many people come on again in order to get updated, and that's what Candz spoke about. We've got some of the latest changes and growth and amazing new things that have been brought into Gift of Legacy. So, by invitation only, you've been selected by somebody as believing that you've got the right mindset, the right heart to be able to not only capitalize yourself in the gifting economy, but also then go and help other people. So is by invitation only. And please go back to the person and say, thank you very much. Even if you're going to say no, which is absolutely fine, this isn't for everybody. Go back to the person and say, thank you very much for sharing this with me. So before we get cracking, a bit of a disclaimer. Candz and myself and anybody from Gift of Legacy are not financial advisors. We're not here to give you any advice and tell you what to do. We're purely sharing from our experience. Any numbers that are shown are purely a guidance, and the results is entirely up to what you put in. So we're not paid people. We are pure members, just like you are, but we're very passionate about what Gift of Legacy has to offer. So part of our give back to the community is we spend our time to share and educate and train others who are interested to grow in this environment. Bit of a background here. Why it's so important to look at something different. I spend a lot of my time speaking about the why, the reason why would you need to do something. And it goes without saying that the last 2.5 years, everybody's world has tipped upside down economically wise. We have entered, thank you. We have entered a completely new realm of economics. And if you thought things in the world was slightly topsy-turvy pre-COVID, well, now it's a little bit more chaotic. I spent a lot of time looking at the markets and seeing what's going on around the world in the stock markets and crypto markets, and can see that there is a very big need for people to look differently at their income streams and sources, which is where Gift of Legacy fits so beautifully into this changing paradigm, where the typical way of economies working and having a job and buying the house and the car and the debt society, it is changing, and you have a choice. You can either be part of the changes, you can watch what's happening, or down the line, you can just wonder what on earth happened. Ervin Laszlo said in 2014, either we will join together for an ecological civilization in the next few years, or we'll become extinct. And this process is fully underway. Your choice whether you want to be part of it or just watch. A little bit of an introduction. Gift of Legacy, it's a gifting economy. And I was introduced to this environment about 1.5 years ago, January of last year, just after I'd lost a lot of money when a business partner had run off with our funds, never to be seen since. It's not the first time I've had a very expensive education in business. And I was very skeptical. But one of the things I've learned in life is if I do not look at anything new and learn and grow, then where am I going? So when I had a look at this, I'd never come across gifting before. So if you haven't, you're in good space, as many of us who have succeeded very well started completely new where you are. It's been a very well kept secret, and I wondered why I'd never been shown this before, and perhaps because I just wasn't ready. Who knows? But let's talk about gifting so you can see where this is different and if it's for you. The reality is, if this is for you, is because you're looking for something else, be it income stream. Then I'd ask, well, how much and by when? Perhaps you like helping other people, and many of us have spent our lives in helping others, and perhaps it's time that you put your own oxygen mask on first. Because once you're helped yourself in this environment, the natural flow is that others will be helped as they follow the set system that you're following. So whether you're enjoying helping other people, helping charities, it is your personal self. You can keep going, Candz. Thanks. Whatever resonates with you, have a look at what we're presenting right to the end. And then perhaps have a look again, because it is very different. We're a global gifting economy. And in, I believe, now over 107 countries. And right at the end, we'll share with you the different languages that this is presented in. So if English is not your first language, perhaps the language has already been covered by somebody else as it's being presented 7 days a week. I think nearly 24 hours a day now. It's quite amazing how we've grown. No limitation of borders, which is what's really exciting. It's about uplifting others, yourselves, creating abundance, and then encouraging self-development. If I had come into online platforms or business online or gifting economies just using the skills I had in hospitality, I would not be able to be successful. So the development, self-development and teachings and learnings, it's critical for everybody if you want to make this worth your while. Sacred economics, it's been around since the 1960s. We don't have the time to go through the history of it, but there's a fantastic historical background to what created sacred or gifting economies. 100% legal and been off the mainstream system for many, many years. In Africa, we call it the Ubuntu culture. This is about communities getting together. In whatever country you are in from the world, you all have some form of culture where it's about societies, about groups helping and uplifting each other to then uplift the whole. And that's where this fits so beautifully. Blessings of millions. When you have a look at that number there at the bottom, to date, more than 40 million US dollars has already been gifted amongst the Gift of Legacy members. Now, the parameters for the model that we use here has been around for way over a decade. This online fantastic platform you're seeing tonight has been around since January, and we've just turned 6 months. In 6 months, to move $40 million around the world is a massive milestone, and it's really blown my mind anyway. Redistributing the wealth to the hands of, well, as many people that want to take part. Here's a key thing for me. There's a number of golden nuggets which were critical for me. As I mentioned, I've been in online businesses now, well, for 6 years, full-time for 4. And I've learned a lot of things. One of them is, and a golden nugget for me that attracted me to Gift of Legacy, was it's decentralized. It is not a company. It's not an institution, not a broker, not a trader. In fact, it takes no fees. It has no funds. Candz will cover that in detail with you. So if you're looking for investment structures, well, this is not investment because you don't put your money on a platform. You don't have to ask for your money from anybody else. And that was another golden nugget for me. Gift of Legacy website is purely there as an interactive platform to connect people around the world with each other. All you need is a computer or a smartphone, WhatsApp or Telegram, so that you can communicate and get the updates and news, which we use Telegram a lot for. We'll share those links with you later on. Another golden nugget is that it's peer-to-peer. Payments, or gifts as we call them, are done directly from one person to another. No money goes on the platform. There's no third party. There's no tokens. There's no cryptocurrencies on a platform. You are purely moving your money from your platform or from your bank account or your crypto or Wise account or whichever it is. We'll share that with you just now, how we move the money around the world directly to another person. And that was a key thing for me. I wasn't going to ask anybody for the money. Here's another golden nugget. I think we're on number 4 or 5 by now, Perpetual. How many years have you been working in your chosen career? Or Candz, you worked for so many years in your hair salon and for other businesses before. And when you left them, did they stop paying you? Now, personally, I think that's a bit nasty. All that work that you put into place there. Well, what if you could follow a set system and perpetually earn from the work that you actually had to do? Ongoing, non-stop, passive, repeated. Candz is going to break that down for you. When I got this, that was it, I sold. When that penny clicked, the perpetual income, this is what made a huge difference for me. And we're going on. There we go. Right. So you've perhaps seen that what we have here is slightly different to any online business or a platform or a structure that you've maybe seen before. It's not network marketing. It's not multi-level marketing. It's not a business. It sort of forms outside of a parameter. So some of the languages and the concepts might seem a bit foreign. And being foreign, you're thinking, ooh, I don't know too much. That's where I'd encourage you, watch through to the end and then watch the recording or again, another live presentation on Thursday. Whatever it is, we're here as a community, supporting each other, helping each other, and changing lives. So right now, I'm going to hand you over to Candz when she's going to talk about the numbers, the real exciting stuff. Is it worth your while?
Oh my goodness, it's so worth your while. Wow. I'm very excited to share this with you. And I must just echo what Tim said about that $40 million that has been redistributed. Just remember, that is peer-to-peer. That is people gifting one another, using Gift of Legacy as a platform. But there's no ways that Gift of Legacy has paid out that sum of money to everyone. That is the beauty of this program, is that it connects people and we gift each other and we redistribute the wealth amongst each other, which is just so beautiful. And one of the reasons I loved it. So in this journey, you are going to focus on the yellow circle in the next few slides, and this will represent you on your journey. It's really important that you understand it's you on your journey. So when I talk about board splitting, we will get there when you're a guide. So like we said before, all you need to do is join the board and gift your legend $100. You then share Gift of Legacy with like-minded and like-hearted people. That is so, so important. We don't do space fillers. We don't do grannies and kitties unless you've got a lot of people that you can place underneath them. The way that this functions and the success that you will achieve is by bringing people that joined for the reason that you did, like-minded and like-hearted. We'll take a look at your journey through our 4 boards, our silver, our bronze, our gold, and our platinum. And I will explain the role as a gifter, builder, guide, and legend. And beautiful, the gifts that you receive on your first cycle are $42,700. On your next cycle, your perpetual cycle, you will receive almost $50,000, $49,700. And that can be over and over again if you follow the guidelines and do exactly what we tell you to do. And it is the easiest job in the world. Because I think it was Arby the other day mentioned that whatever you do in life, whatever business you have, it requires people. Without people, you're not going to be able to sell whatever you're selling. You're not going to be able to make anything that you're making. Everything in this world requires people to allow it to function. So let's get started. So how do we start? Like I said, we gift that $100 to the legend. And this is the only time, the one and only time you will ever take money out of your own pockets. The gifting is purely peer-to-peer. So 100% of all gifts are sent directly to the legend. There's no third party. There's no fee. It really is just peer-to-peer. And we recommend, if you're on here for the first time, start investigating, start downloading all of these different apps, because it will make it very easy for you to receive gifts from the global community. And we recommend looking and using Airtime, PayPal, World Remit, Revolut, crypto, and then, of course, bank transfer. We've got Alan tomorrow doing crypto training, really basic beginner training. And I really think with the way that the world's going, we really need to start looking at crypto and alternatives to the fiat currency, which is crumbling around us as we speak. And then just a reminder, no middleman, no third party involved ever, which is so cool. So this is what a board looks like. I will explain in more detail in a second, but this is your bronze board, your $100 board. You enter with $100. And when you get to legend, you will get 8 times that $100 and you will leave that board with $800. So let's unpack this a little bit more. On your left side, you've got 4 gifters, 2 builders, and 1 guide. And on your right side, you've got 4 gifters, 2 builders, and 1 guide. And in the middle, There can only be one legend at a time. You've got your legend. So when the board is full, or when one side is full before the other, it splits. The one hemisphere will split off from the other, and ultimately 2 new boards will be created, which will leave the guides with their turn as being legend. And this is what's so beautiful about it, because so many people think it's a pyramid scheme, but this is the beauty. When you complete as legend, you're going back and you're starting at the bottom and working your way to the top. Go back, start at the bottom, work your way to the top. It's really amazing. So you will land as gifter number 1. I mean, you could be any of the 8. And you, as the gifter, will get hold of your legend straight away. As soon as you sign up, you will be entered onto a board. You click on the legend in the middle, and their user details will come up. Or we've got board chat, which is fantastic. I really recommend that you use it, because ultimately we'd love to get off WhatsApp and Telegram and really just use the website as a perfect way of communicating with one another. But you'll say, hi, I'm Candz. I'm a gift on your board. Where are you from? And how would you like to receive your gift? The legend will then reply saying, oh, wonderful. So lovely to have you here. I'm from Spain and I like to use whatever the following, whatever the payment gateway that I suggested before. Then the beautiful gifting will happen. You will get confirmed on the board. And the beauty is you will see gifters 2, 3, 4 join. Now, what the beauty is, and one of our new updates, is that the legend is now in a position, because they've received $400, they can actually fast track and join the silver board before they've completed the bronze board. So that will give you a little bit of a skip and a hop through the front of the queue, and you will be placed on a silver board, so that by the time you've completed as legend here, you might even be a builder or a guide on the silver board. So very, very exciting. And then, of course, you wait for your gift number 5, 6, 7, and 8. And of course, you receive $800 in gifts. You only took that $100 out of your pocket the first time. So like I said, the board splits, the 2 guides become legend, and of course, you become a builder. Now, your role as a builder is to do exactly that. You're going to build your community with those beautiful, like-minded and like-hearted people. I met someone today and he was saying to me, but which 2 people? Am I going to get my brother and my sister? I said, no, those will be 9 and 10. The first 2 people you get will either be people you work with or people that you don't have a relationship with, where you're going to have to start looking after them. So in a perfect world, your gifters would come in positions 1 or 2, 1 and 2, besides you or underneath you. Or if you were builder number 3, they would come into position 7 and 8. So all 8 gifters come in, and the board splits. The 2 guides become legends, and of course, you get $800 as the legend. Then you become a guide. Now, your 2 gifters would have moved up into the builder positions, like in the picture. And of course, now it is your job to guide them and help them build just as you did. And if you get this right and you can duplicate the process, my goodness, you'll be at that platinum board in no time. So your builders will bring people in. And now we're at 4. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you as a guide, because as a guide, if one side of the board is full, the legend will confirm gifter number 4. And what happens is your hemisphere will split off and you'll become a legend on a new board, where you'll leave this original board to complete their right hemisphere. So when you log in, you'll see a new board. But if the legend and everyone on the right-hand hemisphere logs in, they will still see this board because it's incomplete for them. So this is what will happen. That is the board split in half. And of course, now you are legend on your own board, and your 2 gifters that you originally brought in will be guides on either side of you. They're there to support you, they're there to cheer you on, but they are also there to be guides to their builders, so that we can bring more gifters onto the board, because guess what? It is now your turn to receive, and you will be receiving 8 times $100. But again, I urge you, when you get those first 4 gifts, make sure that you fast track so that you're on the silver board, and that you are sorted. You don't have to worry about being a good steward to the money, and you can make sure that you are following the guidelines and writing these boards of abundance to the best of your ability. So $800 in gifts. Then when you complete, what will happen is if there is still space on your original board, so here we are with the original board. In the meantime, while you were getting gifted, the right-hand hemisphere actually brought in 2 people, and now you are coming back to your original board to assist the board. I mean, how does it get better than that? This really will help with momentum, and it will also make sure that not one side of the board is left behind. In the precursor program that we came from, there were so many people that were stuck on the one side of the board that just had no way out. So this is something that we are really proud of, and something that actually only got launched last night and has been working wonderfully today. So I'm just going to show you a short video clip to show visually how the 2 boards split once gifters 1 to 4 and all gifters 5 to 8 have been confirmed. The legend will go off, the boards will split, the 2 guides become legend, the 4 builders now become guides on either side, and the 4 gifters become builders on either side. And if you are here for the first time, I would really recommend watching this at least 2 or 3 more times, or come to the other Zooms where other people can explain it, and it will eventually land and you will understand. This is not something that you can understand. It's something that just is, and it works, and it's something that we've never had before. So it defeats everything that we've learned before. So we also have a compulsory automatic join, which means that once you've completed your first bronze board, you'll be automatically joined to your silver board. And once you've been confirmed as a gifter on your silver board, you will then be automatically joined onto your bronze board in a perpetual position. The same auto join applies to higher boards. So if you finish and complete on your silver board, you will be automatically joined onto your gold. Once your gold gift has been confirmed, you will be automatically joined to the silver. Now, if you are not riding any of the bronze, any of the boards, and you decide you're going to skip one, when you complete, you will not be able to go into any of your boards until you are on all of the boards. Also remember that a gifter can no longer remove themselves, and only a legend can remove a gifter. So just make sure that you are ready with your gifts and that you are following the guidelines as we've explained to you this evening. So let's go and recap. You've just completed as a legend on your first board. You've received 8 times $100. If you were really clever, you would have advanced already to the silver board with your first $400. And when you complete your bronze board, you will be able to go on your perpetual cycle with $100. So that is where Tim speaks about perpetual and that passive income. This is where it's at. The beautiful thing is after your first round, you still get to keep $300 in your pockets. Perpetual cycle, what's wonderful is when you gift that legend your $100 and you move through the boards, all the people that you brought in on your first board, when they complete, they will be moving you forward towards the legend position. So you don't need to bring in 2 more people. Although if you want faster movement, it's always great to bring in people again when you're on the bronze board. Just creates faster movement. But the beauty is this time when you get to legend, you will get to keep $700 of that $800 because all you need to do is gift $100 each time, over and over again to infinity. How does it get better than that? Our silver board, that's how you enter with $400. Once you complete as legend, you will get 8 times $400, which is $3,200. Now, everybody that was on the first bronze board with you will be following you on your journey to the silver board. And that is why it's so important to bring like-minded and like-hearted people so that they can assist themselves and you on this journey. So let's recap. After your first 4 gifts, I highly suggest you get onto that gold board, get ahead of yourself on there, and you're going to keep $400 to enter your silver perpetual cycle. The beauty is this time around, you get to keep $1,200 in your pocket to do with as you wish. Perpetual Cycle gets better and better because now you get to keep $2,800 on each round. And everybody that is brought in with you, if they do the same and they follow the guidelines and they follow you, they will assist you to get to legend over and over and over again. Our gold board, you've entered with $1,600 after you got your first 4 silver gifts. And when you get to legend, you receive $12,800. So you would have used 4 gifts plus an extra $200 to fast track to your platinum board. But oh my goodness, it's so worth it. And you're obviously going to hold back $1,600 when you complete as legend so that you can enter your perpetual cycle. So you're looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, $6,600 that I've gifted away. It is the best feeling to be able to gift that amount of money to someone after having received 8 yourself. The beauty about this round is you get to keep $6,200. So anything that you've got unpaid or a holiday you wanted to go on, this will most certainly cover it. And the beauty about the perpetual cycle is this time round and over again, you will get to keep $11,200 in your pocket because all you need to carry on for more magic and more abundance is using $1,600 each time you go in over and over again. This is so beautiful. And I would suggest each and every single one of you put it in your will because this can really be passed down from generation to generation. And last, but definitely not least, we've got our platinum board. You enter with your $5,000 and then you exit with 8 times $5,000, which is $40,000. So the wonderful thing is you've completed round 1 and all you need to do is hold back that last $5,000 gift so that you can enter your perpetual cycle on the platinum board. So gifts in your pockets each time are $35,000. And of course, it's the gift that just keeps on giving over and over again. Each time you will gift your legend $5,000. When you get to legend, you will receive $35,000 or 40, but you're going to keep putting $5,000 back over and over and over again. So take a picture of this. This is a summary of your perpetual journey. You'll see there on your bronze perpetual cycle, you will be able to keep $700. On your silver perpetual cycle, $2,800. On your gold, $11,200. And on your platinum, $35,000. Summary of the potential gifts. So your first cycle through all the boards, you're going to use $42,700 in your pockets. And of course, you are going to, on your perpetual cycle, once you've been through all of the boards, you are going to receive close to $50,000, $49,700. I don't know about you guys, but I did not make anywhere close to this owning a hair salon. Absolutely not. And I stood on my feet for 16 hours every day, trying to make people happy. And now we can make people happy with just $100. I mean, it really, truly is amazing.
It truly is. How does it get even better than this? So thank you for all that and all those numbers. And sometimes those big numbers are like a little bit too much for our brains. $49,000 is a huge chunk of money. It doesn't matter what country you're in. Start with a lower one. Start with just $300, then $1,600. Progress, and you'll see that the system starts to understand. You start to understand the system as you progress. So just as a bit of a guideline and a roundup, the $100, once off, never to repeat from your pocket, straight to the legend on the board. You then invite 2 like-minded, like-hearted people on your journey. You can invite a lot more people. The minimum would be 2. It's a 2x2x2 matrix, very simple. Perpetual boards, once you've completed your first cycle, it'll be auto-joined, as Candz went through that. It is very important to also know that you're not going to get onto any perpetual cycles or any other boards if you have not brought your 2 in by the time that you finished as a legend on that $100 board. So the recommended time to bring your 2 people in is when you are a builder, which is what Candz has just shown you. That you always want to make sure you've got enough funds ready and available in order to gift immediately. From my perspective, I look at it that as soon as I'm joining the board, I contact the legend immediately, liaise with them and gift them instantly. Why? Well, at the point where I'm legend, that's how I would like to be treated. Very important, you can't advance until you've got those two. So what makes us a little bit different? Well, very user-friendly. The website is purely there to connect people. And being that there's no funds on the platform and doesn't accept anything, you don't need to do KYC or FICA, very simple registration. It's got a fail-safe system and a unique algorithm that allows the boards to always continue. So whenever I'm speaking to somebody, I ask them, do you want to do this fast or do you want to do this slow? Well, the answer is always fast. Then follow the system. If you waited and just said, I'm going to just sit back and, let everybody else work, well, you're going to be waiting for a very, very long time. And perhaps this isn't for you. Cross-pollination is where we assist other boards, and Candz described that as well, so that we don't get in a position where boards are permanently stuck and just not going anywhere. The reality is, you want a board to move fast, you do the work, get it moving. Global community, as I've said, over 107 countries around the world, and you always need to be cognizant when you're speaking to people in different languages that maybe English is not their first language. So we use DeepL for translating and Google Translate as well in communicating with people. Don't limit yourself to two. Put two people in, the right like-hearted people who are going to do this, then invite others. As you're going along, and you'll realize that once it forms into your heart, because now you've received gifts and you've gifted, you just share this with everybody. We have a great community support team, purely volunteers. Nobody is paid, as Gift of Legacy doesn't have any funds. It's a non-profit. So anybody who, if you go online and you have a question, please, there is a very, very clear academy. It's got all the details. Some of the latest videos will be updated over the next couple of weeks. It takes a bit of time. But anybody that answers your questions, your emails, are volunteers. And if you'd like to volunteer, please raise your hand. Fast track and board splitting. Now, Candz mentioned fast tracking. So on this next slide, we're actually going to show you how this works. So fast tracking would be for the people who say, I want to do this and I want to do this fast. Now, there's two ways that you could do it. The first is, once you've got your two and they've been confirmed gifters on the $100 board, and you've got the money sitting in the bank, you can fast track yourself over to the $400, gift the legend on there. A while later, you can go onto the gold board, fast track on there, gift the legend on there, and then you could do the same. I know some people who did that right from the very, very beginning, and they very quickly moved to legend on the platinum boards and then reap the rewards on doing that. So that is one way you can do it. We do promote only $100 from your pocket. So that would be for people who've got the spare cash lying around. If you don't have it lying around, follow the system that Candz showed. Once you've received, as a legend, the first 4 gifts, go straight on to the next board. So for gold, so on the first $100 board, platinum, bronze, sorry, you're going to then gift over to the silver as soon as you've got your first 4 gifts. The same thing would apply to gold. And then from gold as legend, it's just slightly over 4 that you would, by that time, your other boards are busy perpetually spinning anyway. So you'll have the funds to be able to fast track there. Definitely a good way to move on quicker. A couple important notices. No promoting on social media is permitted. We want like-minded people. When you promote on social media, typically you catch the people who are either scammers or often people just jumping for the next new shiny object. You want to know the person you're inviting, you want to know their heart and their mind and that they're in this. And if they're not, it's not for them. No space fillers. That's what we talk about, that you want the right person. So you're going to join and you're going to say, great, I'm going to bring my 96-year-old granny and my 4-year-old daughter in. Well, maybe not, because your 4-year-old daughter is unlikely to do it and introduce there too, and neither is your granny. However, if you then committed to putting in 2 like-minded people, that's entirely up to you, but then you're going to be looking for 4 people. Make sure you can do that before you do it. That's why Candz recommended bring those family members in as number 9, 10, 11, 12, further down the line. You want to be the messenger. You don't need to share this with everybody. All you're doing is inviting them to the calls or sending them a recording or a video. You don't have to understand the whole system. I've been around it for a year and a half. I'm still learning. So what do? I just invite people to these calls and let others do the work for you. It makes it really simple. And then at the same time, you're going to attend as many live presentations and recordings as possible. Definitely all the training. It's those skills, that mindset change to know how to maximize your time and your effort in the gifting economy. You're going to get that from the training. So if you're new into cryptocurrencies, Alan tomorrow is the start. His profession is helping people make money, even outside of this environment. Hugely skilled and very knowledgeable. Watch that tomorrow live. That's 8 p.m. South Africa time. And then Friday for the breakdown, we'll show you some of that. Get onto this extensive training. One of our trainers says there, trained always beats the untrained. Participate in your own rescue. There's no guarantees. If you want this to work, you need to work it. But it's actually great fun. It's not work. It's not one of those jobs. Make sure that any gifts that you do receive are that you are compliant with your tax laws in your country. We don't teach on that because it changes throughout the world, but make sure that when you got gifts coming in, that you are compliant and you're gifting because you're sending large sums of money in and out. So cryptocurrencies comes in as well. And Gift of Legacy, as a reminder, is a decentralized platform that we don't recommend using any third parties or other people to help you do it, or systems and schemes or changes in ways that are outside of what we've shown you within Gift of Legacy. They're not encouraged and they don't work. If they did, the programmers would have built those systems into the structure. What you've seen this evening is the system to follow and duplicate. We've covered everything else on that slide there. Candz.
Yes. I just thought it would be important I have to also remind myself sometimes because we're constantly updating so much and doing so many things. So just a recap of all the updates of late, we have a notification bell. So if you log in and you're on your home screen, which is where you can see all 4 of your boards, you will see a notification bell if there's a gift on your board, or if somebody sent you a message via the whisper function, or if there are messages on the chat as well. So go and check it out. It's really, really awesome. And just so nice to have a notification bell. You waited quite a while for that. Then you will also see on your home screen a GGM donate button, which I'll go into in a little bit more detail in the next slide. But it stands for Graciously Givers Movement, and that is the nonprofit organization that funds Gift of Legacy. So it costs between $15,000 and $25,000 a month to keep the ship sailing. And that's why when Tim says if there are other programs that worked, I want to see if they are spending that amount of money on development and keeping it afloat. And then we've also got a beautiful Love Heart sign up button, which I'll cover in the next slide. We've also got board chat. So like I said earlier, we would love to just move away from WhatsApp and Telegram and really just keep it on the website. And the wonderful thing about that is if you are a legend, you can actually go in. There is a generic template that's there with a couple of guidelines, but you can go in and put your own personalized message. And when I was a legend on a board recently, it was so beautiful. I had such a wonderful response from the lovely message that I'd received, and that board chat was just absolutely full of positivity, and everybody put things in. Every time we got a new gifter, we welcomed the gifter. And somebody said earlier, your team is the board that you're on. So even if you've brought people in and they're on other boards, because ultimately they are going to split away from you, you saw the board split, and you saw that when you move up to legend, you're going to have a guard on either side of you that would have been the builders. So they will split away. And the wonderful thing is then you become part of another team, a global team. And if you all work together, magic can really happen. We've got a whisper function. So in the board chat on the left-hand side, you'll see all of the names of the people on the board. You can just click on the name and it will give you a hyphen with their name, and that will be your whisper chat. So that will be a private message to somebody on the board. Then, of course, what we demonstrated this evening, board splitting, when gifters 1 to 4 or 5 to 8 are full, the board will split, and the one side of the board will go on and carry on. And then, of course, it will come back to the board if nobody has joined in that time of receiving. compulsory auto joining of boards, and also remember only legends can remove gifters. Then the support button, we used to have it right on the front, the sign up page, and as you went in, or it was actually all over the place. So now we have moved it to the top of the personal profile. So if you click on your top bar, you'll find your personal profile, and the support button is right at the top. You can't miss it. And then, of course, all cross-pollinators that started this journey with us from the precursor program now have inviters, and they are attached to Gift of Legacy, Graciously Givers movement positions, and that will also aid in the beautiful cross-pollination. So you'll have people joining boards that are relatively new, and we'll also have people joining boards that are following their inviter. And of course, we will have people joining the oldest board, which will support our algorithm going forward. So very, very exciting stuff, and more to come. So please take a picture of this. Our Zooms are every weeknight, Monday to Friday. We've got Motivation Monday on a Monday. We've got our presentations on a Tuesday and a Thursday, very much like the one we've just done. It's different presenters. So I really urge, if you're new, to come to all of them until you are living and breathing Gift of Legacy. On Wednesday, we've got orientation. So anything that we feel that can contribute to your journey on Gift of Legacy, we will do training on. And of course, tomorrow it's Alan with very basic crypto training. And like I said, I really urge you to come and learn. I know that it's difficult to get your head around something new, but remember the telephone, that landline. And then we all got cell phones, and then they became smartphones, and we had to adapt. We had to adapt, or otherwise you get left behind. And then on Fridays, we like to have an unpacked session. So that is where we either see various things that are happening in our community, which we address, or we'll have testimonials. It's just a really nice, casual, wonderful Friday evening. So please join us for all of them. You will grow to love this community. And the more Zooms you join, the more you'll fall in love with us. Okay. And then we've got 3 official Telegram groups. We've got the community, the info only, and one of my personal favorites is the testimonial group. Tim was saying yesterday how much he loves it because these are real people that are putting their story out there, and they have received abundance and had such a wonderful journey. All right, I think I stole those 2 slides from you, Tim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. You're doing such a good job. I'm listening.
All right, so beautiful love heart position, so close to our heart. And again, it is an initiative supported by our Graciously Givers movement, which is our NPO. And this is for any Gift of Legacy participant that has already brought their 2 and is building a wonderful community and has got people in mind that they'd love to bring in, but maybe don't have the technology that can support their journey, or they just don't have the network and they're not the kind of people that can go out and find people. Or it's your church, your caregiver, a soup kitchen, animal shelter, your domestic worker, or the person that does your garden. It can be anyone that you feel could benefit from this. And if they're really not in a position to join the community in the way that we've shared earlier. So you will just click on the link below. You'll see that below, the ggmmovement.org/donate. Love Heart. And you will be able to put in your details. You will put in the person who you want to sponsor's details. They will then do a check just to make sure that you have met the criteria. And then you will be able to either hand over the love heart position to somebody, or you can manage it yourself. The only thing that they would need to learn is how to gift and receive their gifts. They don't necessarily need to bring anybody to this. But what's so beautiful is a lot of the people that I've sponsored are so excited about that. They found me more people to sponsor. So it's just a beautiful gift that keeps on giving. So if any of you know anybody that you'd like to rescue, and instead of putting them onto your board to help your community and then having to build double the amount of people under them, rather put them in a love heart position, all the love heart positions follow one another, so they wouldn't necessarily contribute to your journey on that side, but it would definitely be a contribution to them. And then we've also got that donate button that's on the homepage. And like I said, it costs us $15,000 to $25,000 a month, depending on what we're doing. And the gift, the graciously givers positions in Gift of Legacy do help fund that. But as you know, it's not like we get gifts every single day on all those positions. They have to go back to the beginning, start as a gifter, and work their way up to get to legend in order to gift. So there are little pockets where we could really use those donations. And we've got 400,000 people that are part of Gift of Legacy. Imagine if everybody just gave $1. My goodness, we'd be able to create an even bigger and better program than what we've got now. So it's always wonderful when you're receiving gifts, and when you see that donate button, click it once you've received a gift and just give a tiny little portion of that to this beautiful program, because ultimately it's going to benefit all of us in the long run. So thank you so much for being here.
Wonderful. Fantastic stuff. A lot of information there, so please do give them back. And enjoy your journey of abundance. I see we had about 180 odd at one point, and there's over 100 on the YouTube channel, and there's another 111 people doing translations in Spanish, I believe, as well at the same time. So a good number of people joined us this evening, and we keep these numbers up. It keeps enthusiasm and the whole vibe and what we've got going here. So Candz, it's been a privilege as always to share the screen with you. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your time on a Tuesday. Well, in South Africa, Tuesday evening. So I'm going to say it's winter here. So I always say, stay warm, stay healthy, and let's get wealthy. Good night.
Exactly. So I just want to finish off in closing, because yesterday I didn't have the stats, and I always love to share them. So just want to talk about how many legends we've actually brought into the world through Gift of Legacy. We have 44,529 legends. So that is across all boards, but 44,529 people have received gifts on the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. From that, we've got 42,938 that have completed on the bronze boards. That is amazing, because it's generated $34,350,400. Oh my goodness, that is just incredible. Our silver boards, we have 1,430 legends to date, and that means that was responsible for the redistribution of wealth of $4,576,000. We've got 130 gold legends, and that has redistributed wealth to the value of $1.664 million. And then lastly, 31 platinum legends. 31 platinum legends in 6 months, which was responsible for $1.240 million. I always want to say rands, but I think if I had to times that by 15, I don't even think it would fit on a calculator.
Well, it's 17 now. It's 17. Yes. Yep. Time to get some dollars. Time to get some dollars in. Those numbers are amazing. How much of that do you want? You decide.
The beautiful thing, not only me and Tim, it's everybody. Every single person that joins Gift of Legacy has the opportunity to receive everything that we've just spoken about in abundance, perpetually, over and over and over again. So thank you, Tim. It's always wonderful presenting with you. And I love your background. We're going to see that a little bit more often, because Tim's in one place for a few weeks. So that's quite nice. Normally, we always see him with a different background. And please join us tomorrow, 8 p.m. South African time, same time as this evening, with Alan, who is going to be doing that crypto training. And I'm very excited. I only know the basics, so I'm really excited to learn more. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.